from developers. In organizations, we have to run smoke test first of all to check stability of the application. Then once the smoke test cases are passed, then we have to go with the detail levels, or probably you might be having sanity test cases. Sanity testing is done successfully, then you can go for retesting or regression. So in this particular session, okay, or class, I will be mentioning about running specific test cases, okay, which are marked as smoke, or like specific, you can say categorization of test cases, okay. And if you want to run those test cases only from all, like say for example you have 5 or 15 test cases, and from 15 test cases you have to run only 5 set of test cases, okay. So what we can do is we can create a simple this file, okay, Python file. I'm saying test markers under dot mark test underscore markers dot py. So this is the file. I'm importing pytest. These are the same functions which I have created earlier also. Login, registration, let's say search functionality, and keep this as okay. This I will pick up later on. So say test login, okay, registration and search functionality. Out of these three test cases, okay, if I want to execute login functionality test case and search functionality test case as the initial test case as part of smoke testing. So what I can say, I can just write down this particular marker. I can say at the rate pytest dot mark dot smoke. Okay. So this particular test case is marked with the name as smoke. This is user defined name. Okay. You won't be getting as part of okay this Python. Let me say at the rate pytest dot you should get mark dot, and you won't get smoke over here. Skip is there, okay. Skip is already as a marker already created, but then this is the name we have given, smoke, or if you want to say regression functional test case, okay, something like that. So this name you have given, but up till this point you will be getting it from the Python itself, okay. So what I have done, I have marked this test case as smoke test case. Also, search functionality part, I have marked it as smoke. What I want only these two test cases to be executed as part of running this file. Okay. Let me just delete this and I will execute this. Okay. So test markers. This has to be changed. By test in test. This is different, right? By test practice. By test in practice. Test markers. It's not there. Let me go to terminal and run this over there. So, or just copy this, copy these three. And paste it over here. Because this is okay. It's pointing to project 3 only, so should be fine. So project 3, and I will say by test, and what is the name of our test case? Test underscore markers, okay, dot py, hyphen s hyphen v, okay, that's it, markers. So this is pointing to project 3, which is my initial project, and I'm running this particular class, or you can say file. Okay. So you can say okay, file error not found. Okay, I have to go inside PyTest practice. So I have to say cd PyTest practice, right? And then I can run this one. Yeah. So login check, do registration and search functionality. These three test cases got executed successfully. But now if I want to execute only login one and search functionality one, which are marked with the name as smoke, okay, search functionality and login, they are marked with the name as marker as smoke. So I will say over here, I will say this is K and smoke. Okay. So now if you see, test session started, okay, collected three items. One is deselected and two are selected. So login check and check search functionality. This one, login check and check search functionality. These two test cases got passed. So we just have to write this what is it kind of sorry command hyphen k, and then you have to give the name of the marker, that is smoke. And what if you want to execute the test cases which are not marked with smoke? Like first, initially you executed all the test cases which are marked with smoke. Now they have got passed and everything worked perfectly fine. Okay. Now you want to execute those test cases which are not marked with this marker smoke. So you can say, okay, in double quotes, okay, we have to mention this in double quotes, and we just have to say not smoke, okay, not smoke. So now if we execute it, so it should execute only, see, do two are deselected and one is selected, that is do registration, which is not part of smoke, so that is only executed. So you just have to remember this particular like marker, okay, this is how we can create marker. And to execute you can just say hyphen k and smoke or not smoke. Now you can give any name, okay, it all depends on you. Fine. So this is one thing, okay, and then let me just say, yeah. Now we'll understand about parameterization as well. Okay, let's understand about parameterization. Now in case of parameterization, okay, what happens, say for example you want to test this particular test case, that is do login functionality, but then you have to pass username and password of three different or more than three users, like login functionality check for admin user, login functionality check for salesperson user or finance user or administrator, any three or four different users. So what you have to do, you'll have to call this function and pass their username and password. Okay, you have to call this function and pass three times. Okay, so your method will be called. Instead of that, what we can do is we can create a function that is get data. You can give any name. Okay, I have given get data. So define def is for function, creation of function. So define function name is get data, and this indicates it's a function, colon, and then what this function is doing, it is returning a value, set of value, as in this is basically tuple, okay, list of tuples, okay, this bracket is used for list, right, and this bracket is used for tuple, and that curly braces is for set, okay. So we are returning a list of tuples, and tuple is consist like there are three tuples: first, second, and third. Each tuple, okay, each tuple is consisting of two records. One is username and the other one is password. So this entire data will be written with the help of this function, that is get data. Okay, and this get data I'm calling, or I'm marking it over here. I'm saying pytest dot mark, and this parameter, this is again coming from Python only. Okay, we don't have to create it, it is already available. Dot parameterize, then I'm saying username. See, this parameter name and this should be same. Okay, this name and this value should be same. So username, password, and the data I'm getting it from get data, which is the name of function. And from this function I'm getting two values, username and password. Okay, you can have any name over here, doesn't matter. Okay, doesn't matter over here. But whatever name you are giving as a parameter name, that should match over here. Okay. So let me just say username. Sure. Now, okay, so this test login is accepting two parameters, username and password, which is coming from this return statement. And as per the username and password coming from here, so one by one tuple value will be coming over here, and then this function call. And right now I'm printing. Later on, you have to write a code and you have to pass it as a value over here. Okay. So this is the code for getting the parameters with the help of this method. And in this particular code, what I have done, I have just mentioned return statement. Okay, actually, you have to get from Excel sheet or from database, and then pass that particular data in using or with the help of this marker. Okay, so this particular statement will be changed. Right now I'm doing hard coded, no? This is hard coding. I have written username, password, so these values will be printed over here. That's it. But actually the code will be of reading the values from Excel sheet. So let me run this and run test. Okay, so three passed. Okay, three passed, and if you see username one, password one. Okay, username test do login function is called with parameter username one and password one. The data, the very first data, the data came over here in this parameters. That parameter passed over here, and then we are just printing it. Okay, so this percentage is for like how many test total test result. So that is percentage. Okay, so username and password one, that is getting printed the way we have printed it. It's printing over here. Okay, so username one, username two, and username three. So three test cases passed in these many seconds. So this is how you can take the help of parameterization or use parameterization. So you just have to use this marker at the rate pytest mark dot parameterize. Okay, the number of columns should match with the number of parameters over here. Okay, and accordingly the function name, the function which is returning or giving you the data. So you are getting the data from this function. Okay, so this function is very much separate, and this is your test case basically. Okay, right now I have done print statement. You have to write the code for like you will select the login, email, username, whatever. You have to locate that element and then pass this username. Then you have to locate password field and then pass the password. Okay. Clear? Understood this part? So this is for parameterization, and last one is for assertion. Okay. So in general, test cases, when we execute manual test cases, we have to check verify statement. We write at the last verify statement, as in verify. Say for example, user is logged in successfully, and then we have expected result, and then actual result. So in expected, we have expectation from SRS. Okay, we are getting the requirement, sorry, expected result from requirement document, and actual result we are getting from the actual behavior of the application. Right. So what if you want to compare those values? Right. In manual test cases execution, you are actually seeing and yourself, and you are comparing, and you are giving the like statement as in test case pass or fail. But in automation, you have to write the code and make sure that the test cases pass or fail. It has been verified at the code level itself. So in this case, what I have done, again, I have created a new class that is test underscore assert dot py. This file I have created. I have imported PyTest, and then I am saying define test do log. So this is a do log function. I have written a string, okay, that is Google, and that is part of my expected title. So whatever website I'm opening, it should have a title of Google. That is my expectation. But actual result I'm getting Gmail. Okay, this again I'm doing hard coded. You have to get the text or get the value. I believe I have covered that part, right? Get title, driver dot get title. So through that you can get the title of the page. So that code will come over here for actual result. Right now I have given the hard coded. Now I have to compare these two things. Okay, I have to compare these two things. So I will say assert expected title equals actual title. Okay, so this assert is nothing but a class, you can say, and it is what it's doing. It's comparing these two strings. Okay, if they are equal, okay, or matching, then the code, or there won't be any assertion error, and it will continue with the code. But if it does not matches, there will be a error message, or you can say assertion error, which will be displaying actual result did not match expected result. Okay, so this is one way where you are just comparing one value with another value. Okay, then we are using this way also, like title is nothing but again string, my new assertion. Okay, and I'm saying new. Okay, new is like a word. Okay, some string. If it is present in this particular string variable, okay, if it is present, then it's okay, it will pass the test case. And if it is not present, it will give this message, new is not present in title. Okay, and then your end of, so this is your starting of code, and this is your end of code. Again, this is a different test case. Okay, altogether. So let me run this. So our first assertion should fail. Okay, so do registration got passed. Instead of remove header no summary. Okay, we go to terminal. Save. Yeah. So this is our assertion error for this particular portion. Expected title is actually not matching with the actual title. So assertion error is printed. Actual result did not match expected result. This is what we are printing over here. So exact string will be printed over here. And the statement, okay, it is converting. Expected title is Google and actual title is Gmail. So minus and plus, that way it just indicates this is missing. Minus Gmail means it's missing, and plus means this should be there. That is the indication. Okay, so that is an assertion error. Okay, and then new in title got passed, and so for that there is no error message. Okay, and then do registration is passed. So this is one passed and one failed. Okay, so this is how you can write assertions with the help of assert keyword. Okay, So this is how we can do assertions. This has to be at the last, okay, in your test cases. This is your test case, and after writing all the codes, then you will be having assertions. And if it does not, the assertion fails, then you should get this kind of messages. Now we cannot write these assertions in each and every what you say test case, right? So for that, once Tanmay picks your framework partner, he will be explaining how to create the structure and how to write the common codes in particular file, the way we had in Java also. So right now, what I'm trying to do is I'm just making you aware about these small things. At least you can practice this code at your level. Later on, once you see the entire framework structure now, because in framework it will consist of lot of code and methods being called from different areas. Okay, so in that case you won't be able to understand each and everything. So before that, practice this entire portion, and then only you will be able to understand the framework structure. Okay, because each and everything will be new for you in framework. So framework is important to understand the structure and calling of different methods and how to keep your all of your code in one particular place and then executing from one particular area. So at this level, just practice for this markers, okay? Create multiple test cases, okay? And then you can create marker. Okay, over here is skip portion is there, no? Skip one. Again, skip is to skip the test case. If you want to skip a particular test case, okay, if say for example, if you have written not smoke, so not smoke, that means this will be also getting executed, this will also get executed. But then what if you want to execute this one, but you want to skip this one? You don't want to execute this. Then you can say pytest.mark skip. Skip again is coming from Python library file. It's already created. Okay, you can give any name over here, and then whatever code that will be skipped out. So this is skip mark. So markers, and then parameterization, and then assert. Okay, these three things we have covered so far.